Now what I will do is I will demonstrate how to use this in a cuboid or some objects I will draw. Suppose there is done. Now I want to draw okay, this is what I have as a shadow. So I am considering my light is falling from here. This is the source of light, SOL, and this is the object. Okay, so if you notice, the top is illuminated, we don't have any shades or shadows. Here some shading is here in this surface and this surface, and this is the shadow of this. So to demonstrate that, I'll start from the middle tone. I can say this as the middle tone. Okay, it's very close and dense. Okay, first this is 1, 2 and 3. If I write this as 1, this as 2 and this as 3, so I'm using 2 like that. See, here I'm adding some depth. So now I'll use 3. I think more, it won't be so dark. So spacing, so I am using the technique of spacing, and in hierarchy, as I said, the edges I am darkening, maybe 0.8 I can use. Okay, see here I am using that. Okay, so in hierarchy also I am showing this is the hierarchy. The edges are darkened. Okay, because I am using one single pen, so taking time. The shadow I will demonstrate here. If I use the same, this is a vertical hatch. If I use a vertical hatch, still I can complete this drawing. See, very close lines, that is 1. I'm using 1. Very close lines. Okay, like that. So you can see the variation. Fine. The shadow is looking darker. This is the hatch which I have used is 1. This one I have used 2, and this one I have used 3. So this one I have used here. There is one more technique of doing this. Okay, what we'll do is we'll draw again a cube. Okay, it'll come like that, like this. Okay, like that. Fine. For shadow constructing here, what we can do is darkening the edges again. Okay, darkening the edges also, this also. Oh, fine, hierarchy is reached. Now I am using the same here, like that. Here a bit closer, notice. Okay, over here it was unidirectional. Shades, shadows and everything is in one direction. Here what I am doing is, for a change, I can go for a horizontal hatch for the shadow. See, this one is much better than the earlier one, because the change in direction will definitely change your perception. See, the object, on the object we have used all vertical lines or vertical hatches with different spacing. When it comes to the shadow is falling on a different plane. Okay, so this is a base, it's falling on a base. There I have changed the direction of the hatch. Instead of vertical, I have taken horizontal. By that you can see definitely it is getting differentiated. Very clearly we can find out or make out the difference between the object and the shadow, wherein here it is a unidirectional one. So it's up to you which one you want to use. Here, to further enhance, I can go to the cross hatching. So this one, it is already horizontal I have done. So this one I have done. So if I can add vertical lines, combination of horizontal and what is called cross hatching, using vertical and horizontal lines. Now you see what happened. The depth or the darkness or the tonal value has increased, it is looking more, shadow is looking more darker. So to make it look more darker, we can use different types of changes in the direction of hatch lines. Okay, that can be done. And now the second one, when we come down to a contour hatch, all curvilinear surfaces can be done using this kind of a curvilinear or a contour hatch. For example, I would say I will draw a cylinder. Fine. Here it is curvilinear. In two ways I can get the same. By using a vertical hatch, I can get that form called as form generators here, or I can use a contour hatch. You can notice I am using a contour hatch like that. So it's all curved. I am using a contour hatch and leaving some space there because I am considering this as direction of light. Okay, so this is a contour hatch. Fine, is a contour hatch. In this also, if I want to increase the depth here, I can go for a contour hatch only, but it is like a cross hatch. See, I am using a contour cross hatch. See what happens? It becomes much darker. Fine. That way I can get the effect of light and shade over. Now the light is here, so no problem. Okay, I'm drawing the shadow. Some people say if you are using this, you need to leave some white space there so that you can differentiate between the object and the shadow. Here you remember one thing, even though object is curvilinear, the shadow may not be curvilinear. You can use any straight, okay, hatching. I'm using any hatch you can use. No need to use the same here because the shadow of any curvilinear object also appears to be same. It's like a solid fill. The shadows won't be like a curvilinear. Only the outline may be curved somewhere the top. So even though this is a curved line, see the shadow is looking as a straight line only. Okay, so what is I'm doing? That's why I'm doing a straight line hatch. Okay, like this it will do. As I said, if you want to add depth, you can simply go for vertical line, that is the contrast of the direction which we have done earlier. It is a horizontal line. Now this one is a vertical line. See, so you got that feel, shade and shadow. See the shade here also, if you notice this edges we left some white is the reflection of the ground. Okay, that is one technique you can use, very maybe less than 1 mm. So that is one more this thing. And here if I want to use a cylinder, I am using a cylinder again. Okay, but I don't want to use a contour hatch. Then this will come into handy. This is horizontal. I can draw a vertical grading. See, vertically I can draw grading now. See, the same thing I am doing in vertical. So that vertical grading will be helpful for me to draw this. I am leaving some space there, the reflection I said from the surface ground. See, close lines I am putting. Slowly, what I am doing? After that, I am increasing the space, gradual spacing like gradation or grading. So this also is one of the ways of using a vertical line to give that curvilinear effect. It looks like a curved surface. Okay, in this there is one technique which you should know, where mostly in construction of architectural drawing we use this. So this is actually half a circle. The other circle is, that side is on the other side not seen. What we tell is we put dots or points on this circumference at even. These are all evenly spaced. Okay, we'll take a divider, we'll take even spacing, and we'll ask to project these lines onto the elevation. This is an elevation, this plan. So see what is happening. If I start projecting, automatically what is happening? The spacing is increasing when it comes to the center, and when we are going to the side, automatically the spacing is reducing gradually, like this. If you notice, see the spacing here and see here, it is more, it is very less spacing. But here on the circumference we put dots, or we have plotted dots at equal spacing. But when you start projecting onto the elevation, here it is becoming closer, and slowly the spacing is increasing. Again on the other side you find the same thing, so here and here. So this is a simpler technique we use for this we use in architectural drafting. When you want to draft, then we use this. For you want to do like an artist without any technical specification or measurements, you can do this kind of a thing. So both the ways we can actually create that kind of shade and shadow, and the curvilinear or a flat surface can be created.